like running a youth weightlifting program?
So I started the Three Kings youth weightlifting program 3 or 4 years ago. I started it out, I'm a middle school teacher, so I started out as a summer camp for the kids. We got, 15 or so kids, and then we've kind of rotated through. We really started growing when one of the other coaches that coaches with me, Brandon, started a CrossFit Kids program, and then that was kind of a funnel through the youth weightlifting program. So now we have usually between 15, 18 lifters. We've kept most all of them. They've gone with me. They've been with me for 2, 3, 4 years now. So they're starting to kind of reap the benefits of all their consistent training. We try to go through the usual cycles. It's a lot of, obviously with youth, it's a lot of drilling. We don't go heavy very often. We work on positions, work on strength. We squat and deadlift a lot. The usual kind of strength programs. They compete 4 times, maybe 5 times, counting the nationals.
Why should people get involved? Last question.
Kids should get involved with weightlifting. I think it helps. All of our kids do multiple sports, so it's a really, really good complement to all the sports that they play. And it's just fun. The kids have a blast. We train 3 days a week. Everybody comes in. They have fun. Obviously, with the kids, it's a little bit different than if you're coaching adults because you have to make it fun, and so the reason why they want to come back. So we have a lot of fun with the kids, and it's more of a kind of lighthearted atmosphere. But I think it's good for all the kids. They obviously it works on their mobility, their strength, and helps them in everything that they're going to do.
So we do sports performance, adult training, and weightlifting is our 3 sections of our gym.
We started off, we're Notch 8 Athletics. We have a CrossFit gym on the west side of town called CrossFit Notch 8. We started that about 4 years ago in my partner's garage, and we grew. We expanded into a bigger facility this past January, and we started a barbell club about 13 or 14 months ago, and that's how this whole thing got started.
What's it been like building your team?
It's great, like what Lift Lab has done and all that kind of stuff. It's really grown organically. I think that people have really gotten interested in weightlifting through CrossFit, through maybe their athletic performance days. We get a lot of kids who maybe are done with a competitive sport like football or gymnastics or whatever, and they find weightlifting, and we're actively trying to recruit those kids that we see that are really good and bring them in. Yeah, so we opened in 2008. Back then it was just, weightlifting was still like pretty much in its infancy. We didn't get our first competitive lifter until 2010 or so, and from there we built our team from 1 person to over 40.
At this point in time, the barbell club it takes a little bit longer for those to grow, right? It's a different type of training, it's a different type of mentality. We've got a couple athletes that do some crossover. They do CrossFit as well as Olympic lifting, and I think that actually helps make them better athletes. I think people who do Olympic lifting train just a little bit differently than maybe your typical CrossFitter would. And so I think it benefits them, but now we're starting to get people into the barbell club that want to be Olympic lifters specifically.
Weightlifting is one of the coolest sports out there, and it's really it's democratic. So the amount of work that you put into it directly correlates to your output. So there's not any politics involved. It's what you put in, you get out. And it's a really challenging sport because you can become really good at it through improving your technique or your strength. And you have these parallel tracks that are going, and with these parallel tracks you can just see enormous improvements in really short amounts of time.
I think it's a growing sport, and I think at this point in time I'm excited because there seems to be a real rejuvenation in our country right now for Olympic lifting. To my knowledge, I don't think we've had a man medal in the Olympics since the 70s, I don't think. And that's a shame because that shouldn't happen. We've got way too many good athletes in this country, and as I'm watching these meets, and I've been to junior nationals and I'm watching local meets and I see all these kids here today, it's exciting because it means that the sport is growing. It means there's an excitement, there's a fire lit right now, and I think anything we can do from a local perspective to help create awareness and get people excited about the sport is what we need to be doing as owners, and we need to all work together, and I think this thing's going to blow up.